Holy moly, what is that? That's the mysterious Super Titan that can eat 10 Shimos for breakfast, multiple Godzillas for lunch, and a bucket full of Kongs for dinner. Hello people, it's been a while since we ventured into Hollow Earth, but we are back with another MonsterVerse video. And as you can tell, we have zeroed in on the gargantuan skeleton from Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, as today's hot topic. While nothing about the Mega Titan has been revealed by the makers, its sheer inclusion in the movie confirms that Hollow Earth is riddled with mysteries that neither Kong nor Monarch has been able to wrap their heads around. So, what is this Mega Titan that can eclipse even Godzilla Earth? Let's explore a couple of theories. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. How big actually is this Mega Titan? The latest MonsterVerse movie brought Kong face to face with others of his own kind, and he particularly bonded with a smaller young ape named Zuko. But before they became friends, Zuko was operating under Scar King's command, which made him attack Kong when he ventured close to the Ape King's territory. Zuko, however, did not stand a chance against Kong, and instead had to lead the way for Kong to Scar King's lava-laced lair. On the way, Zuko and Kong had to walk over a giant Titan skeleton that works as a bridge between the two ridges. This bone scaffolding was so humongous that it made Kong look like a toy figurine. Mind you, Kong towers at a height of 337 feet in Godzilla x Kong, and his height only covers about half the height of the skeleton skull. This means just the tallest portion of the Titan skull measures at least 660 feet, and that's just the head that we are talking about. Moving on, this giant skeleton acts as an overpass, and it takes Kong quite a while to get from one end of the skeleton to another. Kong has a foot width of 17 meters and somewhat double the foot length, and it takes him at least a couple of steps to cover one single vertebrae of the skeleton, which also gives an idea about how mind-bogglingly gigantic this Titan is. From the looks of it, it seems that this Titan carcass is the length of about 30 to 34 Kongs, which makes it almost 3.5 kilometers long. This means a human walking at an average speed will take at least an hour to cross the length of this Titan. In its upright position, the Mystery Titan will be the height of 11 Godzilla Earths placed on top of one another, and Godzilla Earth is the biggest Godzilla incarnation ever. If we look closely, the Super Titan skeleton has shoulder blades, which is visible from the top shot. This scene also reveals another, smaller bony structure lying nearby the skeleton, which, from the folds of it, looks like the remains of gigantic limbs, suggesting this creature had arms. At the first glance, this monstrous creature appears like a serpentine titan, but if we join the puzzles, it's got a fanged reptilian skull with a huge torso and a rather long tail, which is evident from the tapering bones. And this leads us to our next mission, determining its species. Is it a Titan inspired by myths and legends, or a mutated species? In the absence of any details about the Mystery Titan from MonsterVerse, fans are going berserk with theories, and the most common suggestion is that it is some sort of serpentine creature. Some are of the opinion that this behemoth is an overgrown version of the Manda, the sea serpent that first appeared in the 1963 Toho film Atragon as the guardian titan of the underwater empire of Mu. By the time the 2004 Godzilla Final Wars was released, the Manda incarnation measured almost 1,000 feet in length. In both films, the Manda battled the iconic Japanese warship Gotengo. The Manda is a completely aquatic creature, and fans believe that at some time in the past, the Manda landed in Hollow Earth through the many underwater tunnels and couldn't return to the sea. Another wacky theory suggests that it is a mutated Titanoboa, the giant prehistoric prehistoric snake that roamed the Earth some 56 to 66 million years ago. They looked like boa constrictors, hunted like crocodiles, and measured some 50 feet in length. The Titanoboa was one of the first gigantic creatures to come into existence after the dinosaurs went extinct. Well, in that sense, our MonsterVerse Super Titan could definitely have been the next big thing after dinosaurs. Other ideas floated by fans include that this monster mayhem is a ginormous warbat, the flying serpentine creatures so prevalent in Hollow Earth. These subterranean apex predators reside in the rainforests of the Hollow Earth. Kong was attacked by these extremely aggressive creatures when he set foot in Hollow Earth for the first time. The warbat has a snake-like body, and it comes with a pair of membranous wings. Structurally, what makes the Titan skeleton similar to the warbat is the lengthy spine that forms a snake-like appearance. But there's no detail to suggest that this Titan ever had wings, so the warbat theory doesn't really check out. Now let's explore another idea. What if MonsterVerse has crossed over into Norse mythology and designed this Titan as the Hollow Earth version of the Jormungandr? This legendary creature is known by several names, such as the World Serpent and the Midgard Serpent. This serpent was so huge that it could wrap itself around the Earth by biting its tail and forming an endless loop. As per Norse myths, the Jormungandr represents the primal forces of nature and untapped mysteries of the world, much like the unexplainable Titan. Considering Hollow Earth is the Midgard of the Titan world, this gigantic creature could very well be something inspired by the Midgard Serpent. Now that we are brainstorming, what if the unidentified Titan is inspired by Asian myths? As per the skeleton analysis, this creature has got somewhat of a reptilian skull and an amphibian body. Could it be a Hollow Earth version of an Asian dragon? One that makes MonsterVerse's resident three-headed dragon King Ghidorah look like a joke? Because Ghidorah only towers at the height of 521 feet, and this giant beast presumably runs for the length of around 11,000 feet. Why the skeleton of Godzilla x Kong is way more important than you realize. While the aforementioned theories are interesting monster banter, you should know that the real clue was planted in MonsterVerse years ago. In the 2021 movie Godzilla vs. Kong, the ape titan stepped into Hollow Earth for the first time and discovered the ancient temple of his ancestors. Accompanying Kong were his human buddies, Dr. Eileen Andrews, Nathan, and the Iwi girl, Gia. This eerie, haunting temple was littered with the remains of an ancient battle between Godzilla's kind and Kong's ancestors. The wall paintings inside the temple suggest that is where the Hollow Earth's people worshipped the Kongs, and it was also ground zero for the epic war between the two Titan species. As Kong walked across the carcass-scattered room, he chanced upon a weapon, a battle axe, which has now become his trusty accessory. The ancient axe was stuck into an irradiated skull of a skeleton, and a closer look reveals that it somewhat resembles the giant Titan skull from Godzilla x Kong. MonsterVerse lore makes it clear that Kong's species and Godzilla's ancestors battled each other in ancient times, and it's highly likely that the skeleton which Kong encountered inside the Hollow Earth temple was a Godzilla ancestor. This is further confirmed in the novelization of the movie, which reads, "She had seen pictures of such skeletons from the Philippines and elsewhere. She'd seen bones like this covered in muscle and scale. It was a species that resembled Godzilla." Kong noticed the remains. He stared at them first without comprehension, but then she saw fury dawn on his features. He stood over the skeleton for a moment, and then, with great deliberation, he bent down toward the reptilian neck. She saw something was lodged there, and as she watched, Kong took hold of it, pulled, and then yanked it free. It looked like some sort of outlandish scepter sized for Kong. This brings us to our next point. If the giant bridge-like skeleton skull from Godzilla x Kong resembles the skull in the throne room from Godzilla vs. Kong, then it leads to only one single, albeit mind-boggling, possibility: that it's the skeleton of an ancient Godzilla, which multiplied in size by thriving in the hollow earth environment. If you notice, the makers haven't really referred to the skeleton inside the temple to be specifically Godzilla's. They say that it's one that belongs to a species like Godzilla. This further introduces the possibility that in the ancient past, Godzilla's kind was a much larger species, kind of like a cross between dinosaurs and reptilian species who dominated Hollow Earth. And this carcass is the remains of one such specimen. To put it simply, our mystery titan might just be an ancient Godzilla who had fangs like the OG 1954 Godzilla. We would like to explore another theory here. The battle axe is not the only thing that Kong discovers inside the Hollow Earth Temple in the 2021 movie. He also chances upon a throne built just perfectly for him as he takes his rightful position as the king of Hollow Earth. Kong's axe begins to emit a neon blue glow. For those who need a refresher, the blade of the ancient axe is actually a Godzilla dorsal plate, which is strapped to the handle with hide wrappings. When Kong places the axe into the casing carved into the floor, the axe begins to charge up instantly with the raw Hollow Earth energy. And an interesting phenomenon takes place. The Hollow Earth energy lights up in the shape of a serpentine creature that circles Kong's throne. This glowing mystic creature silhouette has a mouth that looks like it's about to release atomic blasts, has prominent dorsal fins, and comes with a tapering end. This striking detail can be proof of the fact that a different, larger species of Godzilla existed in the past, and maybe the mysterious Titan carcass was one of them. Furthermore, this activation of the Hollow Earth energy also alerts Godzilla up on the surface, who drills a hole all the way from Hong Kong directly into Kong's temple, leading to pure MonsterVerse chaos. Given that it's been just a few years that humans have ventured into Hollow Earth, Monarch is yet to venture into large pockets of uncharted territories. This giant Godzilla carcass could come from one of these undiscovered pockets, which could have possibly been dragged onto the Hollow Earth surface by Kong's kind to form a bridge between the Green Realms and the lava-laden lands. From Godzilla x Kong, we know that Scar King was an ancient titan who commanded an ape army with fear and brutality and inhabited one of these lava-laden territories. He also controlled the ice titan Shimo with his crystal whip and could have possibly forced Shimo and the ape army to lay out the Super Titan carcass as an overpass. We know it sounds kind of far-fetched, but hey, anything is possible in MonsterVerse. What are the implications of this Mega Godzilla discovery? If the Super Titan indeed turns out to be the god of all Godzillas, then it means that kaiju fans are in for a giant pleasant surprise in the next MonsterVerse movie. We'd love nothing more than to see this Mega Godzilla as the villain of the next MonsterVerse entry. But it's already dead, so how will that be possible? Let us explain. We know that Titans live on for millions of years, and let's imagine that one of these Mega Godzillas managed to survive in the uncharted territories of Hollow Earth, just like Scar King did. Maybe it has been hibernating in a hidden lair and soaking up Hollow Earth's energy for centuries. And all the Hollow Earth chaos caused by Scar King and Kong and Shimo and Godzilla in the last movie woke up the Mega Godzilla from its peaceful slumber, and now it must unleash its wrath upon the world. Can you imagine what would happen if a Godzilla of this size escapes through the Hollow Earth portals and lands up on the surface world? In Godzilla x Kong, the G-Man literally feasted on the Titan Tiamat to absorb its neon pink energy in preparation for battling Shimo. But some fans are of the belief that Godzilla has been preparing for a much bigger threat than the Ice Titan. Yes, G-Man's pink energy surely helped him fight Shimo, but maybe that was actually in preparation for something bigger, badder, meaner, like the Mega Godzilla. The last MonsterVerse movie ends with Shimo and Kong becoming besties, and Godzilla coiling up at the Coliseum for a nap. If the Mega Godzilla rises up as the villain, it will be really awesome to see a Kong Godzilla Shimo team-up fight this Super Titan. Marvelous verdict. Whether this Mystery Titan is a Mechagodzilla or a new species altogether is for Monsterverse to decide. But either way, we are thrilled at the possibility of witnessing a brand new Titan in action that makes every other movie monster look like miniatures. What are your thoughts on this? Please share with us in the comments section below. Your fellow Monsterhead is signing out for now, but you stay tuned for more Monster Mayhem right here on our channel. See you super soon. And if you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.